TRW, back here with AHP, which is part of the Avec Regret or AIR system. Just like in war, the unexpected happens. I was halfway through a video and I bumped my camera and knocked it over, so I'm not redoing what I already covered. So I'm just picking up right where I left off. There will be a gap. There will be a gap. What I was doing is I was looking at Conde, the Spanish left commander here, and I was saying that I know he's a good commander because he has a 2 command rating or leadership rating. I don't remember what they call it exactly. 0 is just average, 1 is good, and 2 is great. So I know Conde is a good leader. So I'm assuming that Conde passed his reactivation check. Okay, that's that. Then I was saying that playing this game is making me use or take some free time to relook at the Musket and Pike Battle Series. And one thing I noticed is 2 things that are not exactly the same. So the first one was how you handle, initiative. That's what it is. So you count the number of wings by precedence, and the side with the most wings of the highest precedence will get the initiative. That's the same here, and I understand that to be the same in Musket and Pike. But if you have a tie in the number of highest precedence orders, then the side with the better commander goes first. That's how it's explained here. Commander. Okay, so they do not clarify. Okay, so I always assumed, and I'm going to continue assuming, that because they don't clarify, I'm going with the overall commander. Because again, in this system, you have, what do they call it? You have, is it an army commander? Whatever the overall commander is. But you definitely have wing commanders, or those are your formation commanders. I guess it's an overall commander. How do they explain that? How do they? Commanders. Commanders, okay. Army commanders, okay. That's funny. What if there isn't an army commander? Oh, unless they just mean in general. The side with the better commander. That is oddly vague. Are they saying, I always went with the army commander, but it is possible to have a scenario with no army commander. Let's see what the French says. I'm not a native speaker at all, but what does the, what does the French say? I have to, I'm gonna have to translate this word for word. Okay. Well, I didn't even realize this was gonna be a hiccup. But anyways, I'm gonna go back to what I was doing. I guess which side has the better commander? Well, that is just too vague. Talking about wing commanders, army commanders, all commanders. Okay. I actually have no resolution on that. Never mind. And there was another now I'm thrown off. I don't remember what the other one was. There was another vagary between what I saw with the Musket and Pike series and here. Yeah, I'll let it go. Okay, let's pick up again. Oh yeah, the next thing I was going to talk about on camera again for those war gamers who want the down and dirty, they want the bottom line, the so what here. I mean, this is the very height of wargaming. I think this is one of those pinnacle designs. It is certainly on a top 10 list for me of best war games I've ever played, and I think I figured it was number 5 off the top of my head recently. So graphics are outstanding. You get a lot for a small, it's not a small package, but you get way more action than the physical parameters would suggest. I'll put it that way. Yeah, okay. So Conde is going to reactivate. Now we're going to get to more action here. So the musketeers here are going to go 2, and then they're going to go 4. That's going to generate reaction fire from the Royal Musketeers there. Again, first of all, they're spending 2 per Watergan's hex, so this unit is expending its full movement allowance. By the way, I noticed in AIR here, the movement allowance is on the marker, is on the units. It is the lower right, kind of in a traditional wargame sense. I understand that, I think in Musket and Pike Battle Series, movement allowance is not on the counters. So that is a difference between the two. So it's using up all of its movement allowance, so it does not have 2 movement points left over to fire. So it will not be conducting offensive fire. But he, and again, the wording is fire, defensive fire. This is very important. Where's defensive fire? Artillery, defensive fire. The cases that generate defensive fire is active unit enters a hex of its fire zone. Yeah. Let's just go ahead and do the fire roll right now. Ooh, that's not good. Low is not good. So, but the procedure for fire is in an earlier video I did talk about the ambiguity of it's a defensive fire modifier. It is very ambiguous from game to game in this system. What threw me off is that the player aid card for one game in the series lists defensive fire on cavalry -1, which obviously clearly suggests all fire. Then in other games in the series, including this one, it says defensive infantry fire on cavalry. And I needed to, and by the way, here, even in this one right here, that's not uniform. So the rules themselves say defensive fire and cavalry -1. Player aid card says defensive infantry fire and cavalry -1. I was going to check the French, by the way, so I'm going to check the French right now. This is really not a good ambiguity. However, I did. Where is it? There it is. No, that's not it. Yeah. See, even the French says defensive fire and cavalry. That's very misleading. Anyways, I'm satisfied with my little quick investigation. I went back and I checked every iteration of this rule, starting with the very first. Oh, and by the way, it goes back and forth, so that didn't actually help. What convinced me to go with it that this is defensive infantry fire on cavalry is that appears to be what it is in the musket and pike battle series. So if the historical simulation justification is the same between musket and pike battle series and here, then the mechanics should be the same. So I think it should be defensive infantry fire on cavalry, which is not how I've always been playing it. Yeah, anyways. But that doesn't apply. Artillery fire and cavalry. This is not flank fire or rear of enemy fire. Let's talk about salvo fire right now. Oh wait, actually is there a terrain? No, there is no terrain modifier for fire. Okay, let's talk about salvo fire. So the only rule that I found, and the only rule that's labeled as a change from AIR, is salvo fire. It's actually the only one, not including what they dropped, but the only additional rule between AIR and this one is salvo fire. This applies only to I-type infantry. Oh, never mind. These are both musketeers. So I won't talk about salvo fire until I get to an I-type unit that's going to conduct salvo fire, so never mind. So it is not even close. He needs to get greater than or equal to the fire value on it. Fire value is 4 right here. It's above his morale of 6. He did not get it, so unsuccessful defensive fire. That's actually it there. And then we have 2, 4. See 2, 4. Yep, let's do these ones. So we're going to go 2, 4. Actually, this applies. Artillery's already conducted defensive fire. It cannot do that again. It can conduct offensive fire during its formation activation. So he moves here, 1, 2, which leaves 2 points. So he has 2 to fire, but he generates defensive fire first. So we got they're musketeers as well. Okay, there we go. So they get a 7. 7 minus the fire is a 3, which is the modifier that the target has to apply to its morale check. None of the, again, no other modifiers apply here. Oh, 0. So they easily pass. So a 0 plus 3 is 3, which is easily equal to or less than its printed morale of 7. So it passes easily. Now we're going to do offensive fire. He doesn't have movement points left over to apply his modifiers. So there aren't any, or that doesn't apply. Terrain doesn't apply. Not firing at flank or rear. So I think that's it. 7. 7, he has a fire value of 5, subtracts, that's a 2 for the morale check of the, oh, here's infantry type. Let's see if, am I doing that wrong? No, I'm not doing that wrong, because he fires into, or he moves into the hex. I just realized that I am doing this wrong, and I am backing up here. I mean, I'm not going to redo anything, but back here, when the unit moves, oh no, it doesn't apply because he didn't have, oh wait, never mind, it doesn't apply. It doesn't, so he moves into here, provoking defensive fire. Now he's firing. Now he's going to provoke defensive fire again afterwards. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Okay, false alarm. So now he has to pass his. Ooh, he does not have good morale. Oh, but he rolls a 0. 0 plus 2. Okay, so he does pass his morale check. Now the peloton, the Royal Musketeers, now they're firing back with defensive fire. I am not doing salvo fire with Conde. I'm going to do salvo fire next with the next I unit. Should be this unit here, but first peloton fires defense. Ooh, they get a 9. That's very good. But I think that's the only modifier that applies. Yep. Ooh, so take the die roll of 9, subtract 4. His fire value is 5. Ooh. Obviously, actually, oh, he has to roll 0. All right, so I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong guy. Here he needs to roll 0, 1, or 2. So he rolls a 4. So 4 plus 5 is 9, which is higher than his morale of 7. So he loses a morale level. So he goes to disorganized, like that. Okay. Now we're going to go 1, 2. Yes. 2. So first the defensive fire from peloton, 3. That is not enough to get because his fire value is 4. So now Conde 1 has 2 points left over to fire. Now let's talk about salvo fire for I-type units. Conde 1 is an I-type unit. That's in the top left. Great looking counters. Conde 1, infantry. Again, movement allowance of 4, morale value of 7, and a fire value of 5. All right, let's talk about salvo fire. Salvo, type 1 infantry only. A unit may engage in salvo fire only once per turn and only in its frontal hexagons. So this is one of his 2 front hexes. Salvo by an active unit provokes reaction fire. So afterwards, peloton will be able to fire back again. Salvo may also be employed during reaction fire. That's what I thought earlier, but didn't have that case. Once it has taken place, a targeted unit must take a morale test, even if the fire was unsuccessful, in this case with a -1 DRM. The unit that fired may no longer engage in offensive or defensive fire. Yeah, we're going to do salvo fire. Okay. Be nice to have a salvo fire marker. All right. So we'll do fire. So it's here. So there's a +1 salvo. Well, that's not good, but a +1 for salvo fire. That's it. Oh, so he just missed his. Okay, so, but because it's salvo fire, the target must take a morale test anyways. -1. So he does not make it. 8 -1 is 7, which is greater than his printed morale of 5. So he's disorganized. And now I'd have to remember that he's fire complete somehow. All right. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. He does not generate defensive fire. We'll go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So now he would be done. Flip him Conde over. Charge command. Now we would go back to the bypassed royal leader right here.